This is the Apple Magic Keyboard for the 11-inch iPad Pro, an item that supposedly turns your iPad Pro into basically a laptop. I've had this since launch, but is it worth $300 of your hard-earned quarantine check? Or any check for that matter? Let's find out with a little review. First, let me start off with a quick little disclaimer. This Magic Keyboard review is for both the 11-inch one and the 13-inch one, except for when I talk about size, because, at least for this review, size does matter. There are a few differences between the two keyboards there. These Magic Keyboards only work with the 2018 and 2020 iPad Pros. Also, this review is only on the Magic Keyboard. I plan to release a full video on my experience with switching from my MacBook Pro to only using the iPad Pro and Magic Keyboard for everything that I do for an entire month. That's gonna be real fun. Anyway, let's start off by talking about the look and feel of the Magic Keyboard. It has this soft textured fabric area that magnetically attaches to your iPad and locks it into place. The case adds some thickness to your iPad Pro, and when you open it up, you can freely change the angle from around 0 to roughly 75 degrees. Then you can pivot it back towards you. The backlit keys feel like Apple's old scissor mechanism, meaning you get some really nice travel on them. They feel really good to type on. Very similar to the keys on MacBook scissor keyboards. And the keyboard is actually quite rigid with no flex when you put some pressure on bending it. Now the trackpad, it's small, like really small, but it's wide. And unlike most other trackpads, this one can be pressed all over and from every corner. This is possible due to the two-spring design underneath it. The Magic Keyboard also provides you with another USB Type-C port on the left side that can only be used for charging. But minor detail, the charging is slower than plugging it into the port that's already on your iPad. You'll also notice quickly that the 11-inch Magic Keyboard is not a full-sized 10 keyless keyboard. It's actually smaller, width-wise and height-wise. The Magic Keyboard also lacks a function row of keys, and some keys across the edges of the keyboard are shrunken further. And this smaller keyboard becomes really noticeable when you compare it to other Apple laptops and keyboards, such as their old wireless keyboard and 13-inch MacBook Pro. So if you have long fingers, you may feel a bit cramped on it like I do, but you do get used to it pretty quickly. That being said, if you want a full-size keyboard or something more similar to a full-size keyboard, you should go for the 13-inch iPad Pro and Magic Keyboard. That combination has a full-size keyboard. When using the number row on the Magic Keyboard with the iPad Pro fully tilted back, I sometimes do hit the bottom of the iPad with my nails when I try to move to other keys. Just a small thing to note, it might affect you, it might not. The trackpad, however, feels just as nice as the ones you'll find on their MacBooks. Fingers easily glide across the smooth surface, and all of the many MacBook gestures can also be done on the Magic Keyboard. However, because of the short height of the trackpad, I find myself two-finger scrolling straight into the little lip around the trackpad a lot, unless I two-finger scroll starting right in the middle. So now on to usage. Beyond what I touched on while discussing their look and feel, the Magic Keyboard is honestly a pleasure to use. The scissor keyboard is back, baby, and it's killing the hated butterfly keyboards quickly. It's because it's the mechanism they used to have back on their older MacBooks, Macs in general, and that they're going back to since 2019. Also, the smaller keys do take some time to get used to. I would sometimes press the wrong key or the very edge of the key I was aiming for at first, but I've adapted just fine to the smaller keys. But those edge keys, yeah, they're still a little hard to hit. Using the iPad Pro on your lap is now significantly better since you can tilt the display towards you and the keyboard is heavy enough to keep it sturdy on your lap. But honestly, there are other great positions you can try with the iPad Pro. Here's a speed run of a few I found useful. Also, now there's positions that aren't so fun with the Magic Keyboard, like using it as a tablet and getting it super close to your face. With the Magic Keyboard on, it's difficult to find a proper way to handhold it and use it as a tablet and get it close to your face without removing it from the Magic Keyboard case. Now your iPad Pro is nude, living on the dangerous side, all exposed with no protection, which, if you're like me, you'll get overly paranoid that you'll drop it. With the case fully open, most of the weight is distributed towards the back, and any position you take with most of the weight in the back will cause the entire thing to fall backwards. Not fun. Lastly, since you can charge the iPad Pro through the Magic Keyboard now, you're now free to do other things with the port that's on the iPad, like plug the iPad into an external monitor. This secondary charge port opens doors for you to be more productive and efficient with the iPad Pro. And if you own an Apple Pencil, you'll be happy to know it doesn't push the iPad back when you're using it, even if you're putting some pressure down towards the bottom. So in conclusion, is the Magic Keyboard worth it? Well, first we get to think about it kind of like this. What are all the features that this thing offers? Now, hold on to that thought. I actually brought some things that do similar things to the Magic Keyboard, so I'm gonna take them out right now. This stand allows an iPad to be tilted and it's elevated. Floating effect. This wireless keyboard lets you type on it. This USB Type-C hub lets you charge it and plug other things into it. This cheap, super basic case provides it okay protection. The Magic Keyboard has all those features in this one compact package. It's more expensive, like, for sure, but you're paying for all those features in one product with a price premium. The question then goes to you. Is it worth paying that price? How often do you work or type on your iPad? If your iPad Pro is just your entertainment device or you already own a laptop, I don't think this case is necessary. If your iPad Pro is your sole machine to get things done and you don't care much for laptops and you need to type from time to time, then this case might be for you. While it's not perfect, it does a lot of things well. Without the Magic Keyboard, the iPad Pro is an amazing tablet. With the Magic Keyboard, the iPad Pro is an amazing tablet most of the time, and an okay laptop some of the time. And for people who need that, then it might be worth it to pay $300. But for the average person, I don't think so. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Is this a product that you're considering? Do you agree or disagree with me? Do you think this product could make you switch to an iPad as your sole machine for work and entertainment? Leave that in the comment section below. I could go on about this product more, but I have a lot more things to say on it for my switched to an iPad Pro and Magic Keyboard for an entire month video that's coming up soon. So don't forget to subscribe, and well, I'll see you guys next time.